of you heard me speak before? Wow, okay, cool. I actually was the keynoter in 1992 when you had your first annual convention. Second question, who have not heard me speak? Let me see. Oh, good, almost every one of you. And who could care less and just want to get out of here because this is gonna... All right, I want you to write 2 words on the front page of your handout. So I want to write these 2 words above the be, do, has, and gives. Everybody ready? Here are the 2 words. My, that would be M-Y. I went to night school. I don't spell too good when it's daylight out. Choices, C-H-O-I-C-E-S. Because I'm going to challenge you when I get finished here at 2 minutes till 10, because Dr. Bob said if you don't, we're leaving anyway. I'm going to challenge you when I get finished here at 2 minutes till 10, I'm going to ask you to make some choices. I'm going to ask you to make some decisions. I'm going to ask you to fill in the blanks here. Fair enough? See, my value here today as a presenter is your value is what you do for 911. It's also our value as parents. And it's simply this. It's what do you, my audience, it's what do the people you work with, and what do our children be, do, have, and give when we're not around. Right? It's what do the people you work with, what do you do, first of all, tomorrow and the next day? That's what this conference is all about. What do you take back and implement? Ideas are a dime a dozen. It's the people who put them into practice who are priceless. You is what you do with 911. Whether you're a manager of a center, whether you're involved in the technology, or whether you're on that call. It's what does that person be, do, have, and give when you're not around, whether you're any good at what you do. And by the way, how many people are back where you work absolutely thrilled that you're gone for a few days? One lady said all of them. Children, I encourage my children to misbehave when I'm around and behave when I'm not around. Now, it drives my wife crazy, but she's happy I'm gone a lot. So the real issue is what are you going to be do? By the way, do you notice the order I have this in? Be, do, have, and give? You notice that? By the way, this is the audience participation part. Have you noticed that? See, I believe we've been taught incorrectly. I believe we've been taught we have to do all this stuff so we can have all this stuff, so we can give, because you can't give what you don't have. So we can be happy, so we can be loving, so we can be forgiving, so we can be grateful. And I'm saying no. That's the wrong order. The true message is be loving, be forgiving, be grateful. And you'll do the things that loving, forgiving people do, then you'll have what you're supposed to have, then you'll be able to give. Capiche? We're not human doings, we're human beings. Well, let me ask you, how many of you here today would love to have more fun at work? Cool. Well, I'm going to give you specific things that you can be, do, have, and give so you can truly have more fun at work. Second question, how many of you here today would love to have more fun with your families? Right on. Because remember, many people can love you, but only a few people can live with you. And would you marry you? The silence falls over the room. I think I got to get a divorce from myself. All right, who here today has a fear of raising your hand? Let me see the people who have a fear of raising your hand. All right, and how many of you here today would like to have more fun with yourself? Yeah. Well. And aren't we toughest on ourselves? Shouldn't one of the messages be we need to lighten up with us? Don't we beat ourselves up too much most of the time? All right, we got our greatest definition for our sense of humor from my son's kindergarten teacher. Chad was in kindergarten, and yes, I have a Chad. He's not a hanging Chad. He's not a dimpled Chad. He's not a ripped Chad. He's not a pregnant Chad. He's actually Baghdad Chad. He just got back from a second tour of Iraq. So, right. Yeah. By the way, if there's anybody here from Louisville Metro, he just took his PT test and he wants to be a policeman. So he did that on Saturday and passed. He said he got number 1 in everything they did. So if there is anybody here, we can use all the help we can get. All right? Well, Chad was in kindergarten. They're talking about your 5 senses. So Chad raised his hand. He said, what about your 6th sense? The teacher said, your 6th sense? And Chad said, yeah, your ability to read other people's minds. In the parent-teacher conference, I went, yes! A tear formed in my eye. I turned to my wife and I go, he can't clean his room, but he's got this one right. But she was a great teacher. She said, Chad, what about your 7th sense? And Chad said, your 7th sense? And the teacher said, yeah, your sense of humor. So if we can agree that your sense of humor is your sense of perspective, then can't we agree it's the combination, it's the distillation, it's a result of all the information that we process through our other 6 senses. So literally, our sense of humor ends up being our attitude. And don't we see people with attitudes? To quote my great late friend, E. Larry Moles from Lima, Ohio, he said, I see people walking around looking like they were weaned on a pickle. There comes a time when every one of our lives we have to say to ourselves, I'm going to stop letting my past ruin my future and rob me of my present. Wherever you are in life, ladies and gentlemen, somebody has had it worse and made it, and somebody's had it better and blown it. It's your choice. Happiness, it's your choice. Peace of mind, it's your choice. Better relationships, it's your choice. Your happiness, your peace of mind, your ability to be a full-functioning carbon-based life form and on this planet at this particular time in the time continuum has very little to do with the weather. It has very little to do with your parents. It has very little with your boss. It has very little to do with your children. It has very little to do with your spouse. It has very little to do with your ex-spouse. They will argue that one. You want to bet? It has everything to do with how do you choose to respond. So I want to give you here in the next few minutes a few things to respond. Now, it's tough to stay positive, isn't it? Isn't it? You're starting to get there. You would think someone like myself, who's been standing up in front of audiences since he was 22 years old, giving the message that happiness is your choice, you'd think I got it by now, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? I struggle every day. No, every day. All right, everybody stand up. Quickly, stand up. I got 6 minutes and 24 seconds. Everybody stand up. Okay, everybody grab an imaginary lemon. Come on, play with me. Grab an imaginary knife. Cut your imaginary lemon in half. Feel the juice running down your arm. My God, we're making a mess. Pick up your lemon. Do you see the flat spot you just created? The wedges, the seed. Pop the seeds out. We're not going to need it. Okay, take that lemon, put that lemon up to your nose, and smell lemon. Come on, play with me. Think pledge if that's helpful for any of you here today. Everybody, take a big bite out of your lemon. Switch that juice around. Put your lemons down. How many of you wince when you bit your imaginary lemon? And how many of you are salivating after you've bitten an imaginary lemon? Let me see what I'm saying. Now let's think about this. I just affected your body with my words, right? And my words weren't even true, were they? None of you actually thought you had a lemon, did you? That would be called psychosis. So watch your words. Always put out words that add value to people's lives, even if they aren't true. And never put out words that take away value from people's lives, especially if they are true. You're all encouragers. So again, no applause for me. I literally want you to sit there in silence. And I want you to say to yourself, what can I be? What can I do? What can I have? And what can I give? So I can truly have more fun at work, more fun with my family, and more fun with myself.